Let's see if we are going live. Wait for a few people to come into this chat. Wait for a few people to come into this. There we go. Here we are. We are live. We are up. We are running. You are listening to the Bleed Big Blue podcast. I have co-host on with me, Will Presti. Will, why don't you say hello to everyone?
Hi, everybody.
I hope
this finds you in a very calm state and not freaked out like a lot of people. We're here to talk about something during these tough times that is a source of pure joy and not stress at all, and that's the New York Giants. So sit back. If you don't already have a pre-existing condition, talking about the Giants surely will bring on a few.
Yes.
Yeah. Side effects of being a Giant fan include
agita,
getulmitis,
high blood pressure. I think I'm now a diabetic. I don't know how that happened.
I think, involuntary throwing of things across the room.
Yes, you could.
Being a Giants fan, you know those commercials where that girl takes the thing, she's all like this, and then she puts the mask over her face that has a smile on it? You know what I'm talking about? That's like being a Giants fan. It's like, no, it's a rebuilding year. Meanwhile, it's just tough, man. I don't know.
It is.
One of my boys who's mad smart just texted our group saying that if you look at the science of this whole coronavirus thing, it's actually growing exponentially, and because there's so many undiagnosed cases that like all of a sudden it could get even like worse. Like I was telling you the other day, like don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I was like chill, and now when someone who's really smart starts to worry, it's like the flight attendant on a plane. Like when they start getting worried, then you're like, uh-oh, But I did, however, I am kind of in a good mood.
Right.
Because just play along. This is all an act.
Tell me why you're in a good mood.
I'm in a good mood because I finally figured out a way where the Giants are going to get Chase Young, and I kind of told you about this the other day. Right? If coronavirus can spread into Detroit, into Cincinnati, and to Washington, D.C., maybe Chase Young decides he's refusing to play for those three cities, or maybe they just cancel those franchises for a year, and even Corona wouldn't be caught in New Jersey. So the Giants, it's like, that I think the chances. You've said the chances are like 10% of getting Chase Young. I said they're about 5%. I'm upping it to a solid 6% at this point. Now,
look at the stride you made. Look at the stride.
It's big. That's a 20% increase. I mean, we're getting there, So we're a couple of cities getting nuked away from me, upping that to 7. Yeah.
So we have no NBA, no hockey, soccer's done, baseball's canceled, and Xbox Live is down. So people are flipping out.
I think Jim Carrey said it best. Yeah, it's like one giant. You know what it is? You know the Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber? We have no food. We have no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
Great movie.
I mean, that's what I'm waiting for. Tom Hanks says coronavirus. I mean, what does the world come to?
Tom and Rita.
Tom and Rita, lovely Rita. Oh my God. I just found out they have a son named Chet who's a white rapper, as if I had to mention he was white, but come on.
Wait, I thought their son was
Colin?
No,
Colin's not. He's not Rita's. Colin is not does not have Rita blood. He did not come out of Rita. It was Hanks' first wife, I believe. Yeah. I actually know his daughter a little bit. His daughter was an actress / like I met her in the comedy circuit a little bit. She was out here in New York, and she was a little girl. She played on the bus. I think she was a little girl in Forrest Gump, who said you can't sit here, or one of those kinds of things. Now, who is this now? Who's this shady character with the hat on? He's got the hoodie. This is a different guy. Yeah, this is. I don't know what this is. We're about to get jumped halfway through this pod.
Can you hear him?
I love it. Nikki, say something. All right, folks, if you're at home, here's the situation. Here's why we started a little bit late, okay? We have this situation going. Nick, you can hear me, obviously, right? I saw you laughing at my subpar joke. So everybody here can hear me, and everybody here can hear Marco.
Mm-hmm.
But I cannot hear Nick.
Right.
So I'm literally going to be just trying to read lips, or like after everything Nick says, me going, Marco, what'd he say? So it's going to be, it's a lack of communication. It's perfect for a Giants pod though, because for about 2 decades now, we have to watch, Eli and Gilbride or whoever it was not be able to get the signals and doing all sorts of hut, raising timeouts and all this because they couldn't hear each other. So it's kind of perfect. But we're going to go.
I'm good at that stuff.
Well, see, I saw a thumbs up. I think he's in a good mood.
He's in a good mood.
We're going to have to go. Folks,
Lord.
it's a rebuilding year here at the Bleed Blue podcast, okay?
There we go.
So I'm going to shut up a little bit. I'm going to let Marco take over. Hit us up, Marco.
So what we were talking about before Nick busted into here, that we have no NBA. We have no NHL, no Major League Baseball, no soccer. Xbox Live is down. The Giants took all their scouts off the road, and they're postponing or turning their monthly meeting that they have, their owners meeting. I think they're going to Skype it in or something like that. And that's
I'm wondering if they're computer folk and their software are working from home, or if they're still going into the stadium every day. They're for computer folk.
You know that this draft is going to be, it's going to be like a Skype draft.
It's going to be like
the old school one. Yeah.
It's going to be like the mock drafts that we all do on our phones. That's what they're going to be doing.
They went from sailing these guys in on boats to doing a Skype one.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure it was a good one, Nikki. It looked funny. It looked funny. I mean, it looked really funny, man. I can't wait to watch this thing so I can find out what the hell you actually said.
I don't even know. Hey, does anybody else hear me? I don't know if he's the only one that
let's
can.
play a game.
I hear you.
Nick,
I hear you.
Mouth out. I want you to mouth out the name of a New York Giants player. I'm going to see if I can see who it is.
DeAndre Baker.
Justin Bieber. Hit me again. Is it a current Giant?
Yes.
Hit me again, Nikki. I didn't know Nikki had a speech impediment. Justin Bieber.
Man. Oh, the extra.
Marco, how close?
Right.
Do it again. Get real close. It's riveting.
Nate Solder.
Oh, don't mention his ass.
Oh, he's heard it.
Don't mention his ass. You know what? I'm done with you, Nikki. I'm done with Nick. Nate Solder?
Yes,
that's the
comes to
easiest
mind.
one I can think of. It was the easiest one I can think of.
All right, so Marco, you're really going to have to be like, all right, Will answer this, Nick answer this.
Yeah,
really take charge a little bit. All right.
So, all right. I'll give Nick his first say on what is he thinking about the comp picks.
Comp picks. As far as the sevenths go, I would love to see them try to turn 4 picks in maybe a higher, 1 or 2 higher rounds. Because the 7th, I mean, even in the 6th, you're kind of taking a shot in the dark because there's only so much talent to go around. But you could still find talent, and I guess the more darts you have, the easier it is to hit the target. So I mean, we're in a win-win on all points of this draft. We are in absolute, because we're pretty much at the bottom of the barrel. That's why. If you need everything, and you can make something out of nothing, or just make something out of what you have. I'm big on Jason Peters. That's my subject right there. We need Jason Peters.
I hear you. So, Will, he was saying basically that he's hoping that we could turn, those 7s into maybe a 6 or a 5, and that we're in a good position.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. The 3rd round comp is always kind of a tease because, you think, 3rd round, but it's really a 4th round. And I feel like you always want to try to trade them. those late ones, but there's like a point system. Like you're not going to ever like get one over. Like no one's ever going to be like, oh, I wonder if we could sneak and like trade like 2 7s and a 6 for like a 4. Like these coaches are all very savvy. But hopefully, because what do we have, 3 7s now?
4 7s.
4 7s, right? So see, I like that. See, he knows now. He knows he puts the 4 fingers. That I can read. But yeah, if we could turn 4, I would trade you probably want to get a running back in the 7th spot, right? Because they're kind of a dime a dozen. Like, didn't we get Ahmad Bradshaw with the second to last pick in the draft? The 6th rounder?
Yes, but you always take your running backs in the first round at 2.
We're getting some messages here. I'm only seeing here. Hey guys, 4. There you go.
What's up? Yeah. So
am I only seeing a couple messages, or are those the only 2 we got so far?
It's quiet right now.
All right. I figure everyone's kind of coronaing out right now.
So here are the picks. Here we go with the picks. Ready?
Yeah.
4th pick, 2nd round 36, 3rd round 99, which was the comp. 4th round is 110. 5th round is 150. 6th is 183. Now in the 7th we have 4. 218, 238, 247, which is a comp, and 255, which is the other comp. And 255 is the last pick in the draft. Mr. Irrelevant.
Oh, that's the Giants have that pick.
Yeah. So that's not carrying a lot of weight to basically trading.
I see what Ned said before about trading 4 7s for a late 4th. No. That's what Will was kind of talking about, like a point system. That is very far fetched. That's like saying we're getting a first for Janoris Jenkins, Ned.
Yeah.
But and Ned's the guy that said that too, so it's kind of
he's out of his mind. We have
So trading 2 7s for a 6 is what I'm talking about. Maybe we can do that twice. Would be dream situation. Or again, like I said, we're in a win-win. If we have 4 7th round starts, we might as well just use them.
Yeah. Overall, I'm going to go back to the Leonard Williams trade. We would have had two thirds if we didn't trade Leonard Williams. So right there. And what was it? It's going to be the 5th if they sign, or another 4th, depending on if he resigns or not. So
yeah, it'll be a 4th if he resigns.
4th if he resigns.
Now
so people are all happy about like the 3rd, but we gave away a high 3rd and we're getting back a low 3rd around the 4 actually.
Is there somebody was saying how he could finagle letting him hit the free agent market and then come back? Was that just a bunch of smoke?
I think so. There was talks that it was time sensitive, that if he doesn't sign within a certain period of time, that I don't know if that's true though. I'm not sure. Will, have you heard anything like that?
Yeah,
I haven't heard anything.
Trade is time sensitive.
Well, yeah, they were saying that. This is like I am a stand-up comedian. This is every comedian's worst nightmare. You can see him laughing, but you can't hear the laughter. So I've had this dream before. It's the comedian's version of being, on stage in your underwear. So listen, they said if he signed at a certain date, it turns into a 5th for the Jets as opposed to a 4th. But then I heard that's not really true. I'm wondering if there's any chance. Can they legally sign him and then trade him? They can, right?
Yeah.
God, I would sign him and trade his ass for like Yannick or for Shaq Barrett. Whoa. Getting bees. What's that?
Flush.
Nikki, you wanted to pitch your case for Jonathan Peters. I'll let you pitch your case for Jonathan Peters, and then we'll move on with everything. Okay? It's getting a little difficult going back and forth.
It's all good.
Yeah. Jason Peters, 6-time Pro Bowl, still got some stuff left in the tank. He, I think he played like 100. His last 120 passing offensive snaps, he let 0 pressures go through, or like it was something crazy like that. It might even have been like 320 offensive snaps. But that is nothing but absolute solid from a veteran. I mean, he's been in the league for how long? 10 years? 8 years? I mean, yeah, he's getting older. I know Lil Yankee and saying he's getting older and stuff like that. But, hey, bro, he's a 6-time Pro Bowler, 320 snaps, not one pressure. That's what we need on our line. That's what we go out and get. I understand he's 38, buddy, but 6-time Pro Bowler, 320 snaps just last year. I won't give in to Father Time until I see it happen, and I think he's still got at least 1, maybe 2 years left. Now, I don't want to sign him for 4 years. I would love to sign him for 2, maybe player option for the third for a little bit less. But you can work something out. These guys are smarter than I am. So, but we need to go out and get him, in my opinion, because he's on the discount. We're not going to break the bank for that. Will, hit me. Because he's on the discount. We're not going to break the bank for that. Hey! Will, hit me. Because he's on the discount. We're not going to break the bank.
He's playing the video. Now,
yeah, he's playing me back. I love it.
So it's like on a little delay. He's playing the video.
I'm on like a 10-second. This is like when Helen Keller was like doing the water thing. But can you hear this though? Is it mad annoying?
It's annoying.
It's annoying. All right, I'll just.
All right, Nikki, I'm gonna hang up. Maybe we'll keep you in the background, right?
No! Don't kick him off.
Yeah.
I think you want to try keep going.
Nikki, stick up for yourself.
Stay with us.
No,
right.
Hey, right now it's your floor. I can come back.
Yeah, all right. Will. All right, Nick, I'm going to have you bow out for a minute. I'll bring you back on, all right?
Yeah, I'll be back in 5.
Okay.
Oh, man. He's a good dude.
I love him, but I don't know why it's not working.
All right. Now let's talk shit about him. No.
Yeah, what an asshole. I can't believe it.
So where are we at, Marco?
I am still pissed off at the Giants. I think Dave Gettleman is possibly the worst. That's where
we got to talk, bro. We got to talk who helped himself and hurt himself in the combine. We got to talk about what's realistic because free agency starting up, right? Maybe even some quarterback situations, right? We got to talk about available pass rushers that are realistic.
I'll go free agency. I'm not too big of a combine guy. But
too big of a combine guy. God.
Whatever. You like eyes and underwear. That's what you want me to tell you. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Gettleman is stupid. Intel Gadsden. Oh wait, is that the same person? Yeah, he's letting Williams' situation get out of control. Why would you trade a player who might not sign? Absolutely, but he's 38 or something. Who's 38? They must be talking about somebody.
So Nick was talking about Jonathan Peters. He really he thinks the Giants should make a move for Jonathan Peters. 38, didn't give up any sacks last year. I don't even think he gave up any pressures. I believe this is over his 10th year in the league. Probably even more.
It's probably better than any of the Giants tackles, but for like 1 year.
Right. The move screams stopgap.
Absolutely.
Then we can get someone a little later on.
You still on the Okuda first train?
Yeah.
Over Simmons?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my boy Jack. We shouldn't be looking for a quick fix at tackle. Just draft one at 4. How you feel about that, Marco?
Homer Simpson, boring.
Boring.
I can't. I hate taking it. Richard Lewis, what up? What up, Richard? No, I don't want them to.
Isn't Richard Lewis a comedian from the 90s?
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with taking a tackle. I told you, man. We talked about this before. Conklin's got injury issues, though.
Mm-hmm.
Conklin's had injury issues. All these guys that everybody, I remember going on Twitter and who was it? Stapleton or one of these Giants writers was like, which free agent do you want them to bring in? And everybody was mentioning you know,
Conklin?
the DB, right? What is it, Byron?
Byron Jones?
Right? And Conklin and other guys. And who's the other pass rusher? Oh, Clowney. And I'm like, Clowney, injury history. I know I stuck off from a little bit last time, but injury history plus coming off surgery. Conklin, injury history. Byron Johnson, I don't know, man. What is he going to be, 28 as a
Byron
corner?
Jones? Yeah.
What did I say, Johnson?
Yeah.
Byron
Jones,
Jones.
2 picks
As
in his
like
career.
a 28-year-old D-back. D-back and running back after 30. D-back might be the first position to go because it's reactionary quickness. And that just screams to me like, you're going to be getting 2 solid years and that's going to be it. And then I started wondering, I don't know. No one's mentioning, I mean, are the Bucks definitely going to wrap up Shaq Barrett?
I don't know.
The guy led the league in sacks last year. I had 19 and a half. He's like 27 years old.
Yeah.
No injury history. I mean, he's kind of being underplayed here. Everyone's like Yannick. I mean, Barrett had a better year. I don't know if either of them are going to be available. Let's see what these guys are saying here. Who played well last year? Conklin's a right tackle, more of a run blocker. True, but yeah. I mean, look, he's still better. He's still better than what the Giants have. Smart what Dave did, trading to get Williams and not signing him to get comp picks. The smarter thing is just to sign him in free agency instead of giving up a pick to see him for a few weeks. What'd you learn? What'd you really learn from how he smells? I mean, I like Wirfs. The kid is solid. He looks like a guard opposed to a tackle. Wirfs is solid. Could be he doesn't have super long arms, and some of his footwork.
Oh, I saw what you put out there.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Andrew Thomas is the best right now. I just don't know what his future holds. Andrew Thomas, when you look at him, he's like a machine. His footwork, his hands, his arms, long, boom. He sticks to people. He's just legit. I just don't know exactly how athletic or how much push he's going to get. He didn't help himself in the combine, whereas Becton and. I know you're not a combine guy, but Tristan Wirfs had like one of the top 5 most impressive combines. The guy had a higher vertical than like Jerry Jeudy and like a bunch of receivers and stuff. And he's his 40 was the fastest maybe ever by a tackle, or at least this year. His broad jump was, I think, the longest ever by an offensive tackle. Like all this great stuff, so that you project to the future. But Marco, I was shocked by his combine because all you hear about Tristan Wirfs is about his strength. He's the strongest guy. He's so strong. Oh my God. When the guy sneezes, he knocks trees over. And then he goes to the combine and he breaks records in the agility and speed stuff. And he goes to the bench. I think I have it on the pod last week. We did it. I said he's probably going to bench 2.25, like 40 something times. He did it like 23 or 24 times. I was shocked by that. I thought he was going to be so much stronger upper body than that. But you look at his legs. They make Saquon's look like Sarah Palin's last night on The Masked Singer, if anybody watched that.
I just can't see the Giants taking a tackle at 4. I know I call it boring every time, but they've spent so much money and so many valuable picks on offensive side of the ball. You're eventually going to have to start drafting premier defensive players. Yeah, our offensive line wasn't spectacular, but we were able to score points. We couldn't stop anything. That's where I'm at with that.
Andrew Thomas is comparable to Flowers, I think that person's trying to say. No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, look.
No.
Nick is in the chat.
Nick,
you like
pounds.
Nick, you like warts?
Those 4 guys. Wills is a great pass blocker, has a little bit of trouble always getting to a spot. I don't see a weakness. Andrew Thomas, to me, will be good, definitely. Like, I feel safe. I just don't know if he'll ever be great. But he's such a hard worker, and he's got such good skill. And he's 6'5", 315 pounds. He's not small. He's powerful. He's just not like a complete mauler or like an unbelievable athletic specimen. But I think he's real good. But I think people project that Wirfs and Becton because they're so big that they could be molded into things and that their athleticism is better than, that there's still more to come with those guys. But you never know, right? Would you rather be guaranteed an 8, or would you rather take a guy who could be a 10 or could be a 5? Flowers, get out of here. It's not Flowers, dude. Are you crazy? Who's no?
That sounds like Flowers. Man. Who's playing?
What's rumors about
guard
Andrew
and is a
Thomas?
free agent. How about
Plus,
that?
it's the other thing. What's up?
Flowers right now is playing guard for the Redskins and playing well. Actually, he's a free agent right now, though.
Yeah, I think I saw someone on Twitter talk about getting Eric Flowers. Was that you?
No, that wasn't me. And they've done that, but no. I'm a move on guy.
Nick told you that in confidence, Marco.
All right, you don't like warts.
A 10 or a 5 like Jones. I don't think anybody projected Jones to be a 10. I don't think anybody even is now projecting him to be a 10. I still want Josh Allen, defensive end Josh Allen, over Daniel Jones. I'm still scarred by that. I'll talk about it every single
You
time.
think
True.
you think Jones would have been there at 17?
Yeah, absolutely. I like Brown, man. I do. Trade back. Reason you say to tear his pocket up. DB so much. What's he talking about?
Fix the line. How many fumbles did Jones have last year?
He had a lot. Jones had a lot of fumbles last year. A lot of good, a lot of bad. Are you a complete Jones hater, I guess? I don't know what. I guess you're a Giants fan? Jones
No, I
hater?
think he probably likes him and he wants to fix the line for him to prosper. That's what it seems like to me.
Oh, fix the line. Gotcha. I thought he was talking about like a betting line. Like he's going to fumble even more this year or something. I know what you're talking about.
No, so I am still on the Okuda train, but someone, I won't say who, Nikki earlier, was telling me that he's worried about his tackling. They were all low ankle tackles. He never really, none of them were really solid. So,
but no DB's tackle.
He told me to go watch the Clemson game again.
No DB's tackle though. I think that's just by default now. Look who's coming out, right? Last year, Greedy Williams. Oh, I don't tackle. Right? Who's the corner from LSU? The D-back. The safety, what's his face? Delpit. He doesn't tackle. Unfortunately, Giants traded 4th pick for the 9th to get Yannick.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Who do we want? Mega Giants 89. I wish that 89 was Mark Bavaro. I doubt it is. Back in the day. I think who do you want at number 4 in the draft? So you still want Akuda, or is Nick bringing you off? You think D-back, you start there and work your way up?
It's a linebacker to me is not a premier position. Even he's going to be a beast.
Even Simmons. You want to know something, Marco? All this Simmons talk.
Had you reconsidering? Is that what we're doing? We're flipping here?
Not flipping. I still believe that when you watch the film, right? Because he went to the combine, I was like, oh my God, you see what he did in the combine. He did everything I expected him to do in the combine. It's a freak athlete, right? But when you run right at him, he's not that good of a linebacker. He's 6'4", very, very tall. We remember Matthias Kiwanuka when they moved him to linebacker. It's too tall for a linebacker. I don't know if you're Urlacher or any of that stuff. It's different. He's a different guy. He could really hit. He took good angles in the run game. Simmons is top heavy and he's fairly tall and thin. Yes, I know 225 is not thin, but I just don't like him at the point of attack. So Marco, hear me out. He's very, very fast and very, very long. He sweeps all over the field. He drags guys down. He tracks them down. He sweeps at their ankles, swipes their ankles. He does great things in that regard, and that's very, very valuable. But when you run right at him, he gets blown up. He gets tackled. Blockers get in him and can move him back easily. He's very high. He's a tall target, and guys like Kenneth Murray take better angles on the run game and put their shoulder pads down better than he does. So. Then I get other people who say, who cares about the point of attack in the run game? I'll take all the other stuff. It's not that big of a deal. So I'm not sure. What I think first pick in the draft, I still probably think your best bet. If they got Simmons, if they got Simmons, I wouldn't completely. So many people are so high on him that I do respect. That if they got him, I couldn't complain. Be nice to have a playmaker on defense, but I wouldn't be mad at a tackle. I wouldn't be mad at Akuda. I wouldn't be mad at Simmons at this point. Even a pass
No,
rusher,
me neither. I think they're all. I think at 4 we have good options only.
Nick, he's not the next
three.
Luke. Luke Kuechly? Kuechly's
Yes.
a beast. He's an old school kind of guy. He puts his head down. He'll blow up a blocker. I don't know, man. No more CV that high. I've told you this before. Giants corners, just don't draft him anymore, man.
No, why wouldn't you take a CB as high as you can? He's the number 1 rated corner in the league.
Aaron Ross, Eli Apple, DeAndre Baker, Prince Amukamara. The last good D-back they drafted at that high was like Jason Sehorn, and he busted up his leg returning a kick of the preseason against the Jets. But eventually you have to land one. So I hear you. Since today marked the 1-year anniversary of the trade, what are your thoughts on this trade? And what are your thoughts on OBJ when he was a New York Giant? I'll go first. I'll let you go. I was never a Beckham fan. I do believe in team chemistry. And I've played sports. I've seen it. Locker rooms can be torn apart. I always said, even when he was at his peak, I would trade him for a player of equal value at a need position. I'm not sure the Giants did that, but I always said he's a 9.5 on the talent scale. Bring in a 9.5 as a pass rusher and get rid of the attitude. They'd be better off. What do you got on Odell? What were your thoughts on him?
So my son was watching highlights of Odell. And
I'm like, I missed this guy.
My God, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, he was so dynamite for the Giants.
Yeah.
So dynamite. Such an exciting player. Just didn't work out. Overall, I think the trade was, it did get Dorsey fired, basically. I think we could have got a little more, honestly. I would have rather have control.
Dorsey?
Yeah. For the Browns, the GM got fired. Instead of Julius Peppers, who I like as a player, I think I would have rather had another first-round pick.
Right.
But I'm not mad at it.
I think I'm just so.
It was his time to go anyway.
Watching the Giants was so tense. It was like watching the Yankees with A-Rod. I'm not comparing the two of those guys necessarily, but as a fan, it was just all this drama and pressure every time the guy came to the plate. It was like Odell. Every pass that wasn't thrown to him, you're like, I wonder what Odell's thinking. I wonder if he's freaking out. Like this past year, the Giants, barring one player, who I'm not going to say because I know you got some poll and people might actually watch this, and I don't want that to be a problem because nowadays on the internet you can't just trash people. There's one player in the Giants I can't stand. A fairly new player.
Oh, okay. Text it to me. Text it to me.
But other than him, I've said the Giants are a likable team, even though they suck. And I've talked to many Giants fans about this. I'm like, I can't stand watching because they lose and it's frustrating. But I kind of like all the guys. Do you know what I'm saying? We got to fix the offensive line, give the ball to Barkley. And it's another thing, if you bring in an offensive line, you're not just helping Jones, you're helping the receivers, you're helping Saquon Barkley. Think about that.
I agree.
Odell does win football games. Great trade. Yeah, my boy Jack. My boy Jack hates wide receivers. You could say to him, we want to give you the 5 greatest wide receivers in exchange for your backup long snapper. And my boy Jack's like, no, I hate wide receivers. They're worthless. If you draft a receiver anywhere higher than 26th in the draft, 26th round, that is, I'm going to text you the Giant that I can't stand.
He is true. That is true, though.
Here, I just sent you who I don't like.
All right.
What? Do you agree?
Eli Manning, are you kidding me?
I didn't say Eli.
No, I didn't.
You liar. You're trying to blow me up to the fans. See, my boy Jack, I'd rather have a long snapper all day than a wide receiver. You see him? What should we do? What should be done with Solder? Did you ever see Ole Yeller? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding,
oh
Nate. Nate's a good guy. Nate does a lot of goodwill missions and stuff. Him and his wife. What should be done? Look, in my opinion, and then I want to know what you think. It's not my money, so I can just say, forget the money. He's just not worth it. he is not playing. He's not what you're not going to win big with him as your left tackle. It's that simple. So you got to bite the bullet, even though you're paying him whatever. You got to try to trade him. You got to just bench him. You got to cut, like, whatever you have to do. You're not going to be a legitimate football team with someone who gives up that many pressures.
Yeah.
You agree?
I agree. I don't think he's on the team next year.
Nate Solder, Nick. You what?
I don't think he's going to be on the team next year.
In what way? What do you mean, this coming year?
Yeah, no, this year he will. Next year
Okay. No, next year will be good. Well, when's his contract over?
I think it was 4 or 5 years?
Denver loaded up TJ Ward, Talib, Ware, 14 million cap space. We should go corner, safety, free agency in the draft, trade down and pick capital. I zoomed through that and I can't zoom back up.
Eric?
Bigger New York Giants, Cowboys or Eagles? For me, even though the Eagles are the team that always beats the Giants, it's still the Cowboys because they're just so much more obnoxious. I'd rather beat the Cowboys than the Eagles.
Eagles. I got Eagles.
Who would you rather beat? It's Sunday, you're watching a game. Who would you rather beat, the Eagles or the Cowboys? Where are you happier after?
The Eagles.
Really?
Yeah. And you know what changed? I'll tell you the exact moment it changed. Deshaun Watson running it back. No, Deshaun Jackson running it back.
Gettleman will draft Tua to ensure 2 more seasons as GM. Chill, Daddy. That's the issue with Gettleman. Like I said, he's linked to Jones. So he will do whatever's necessary to make Jones. Like I've said, that's the danger where people think he could draft Jerry Jeudy or CeeDee Lamb or something like that because he wants Jones to have a good year this year to keep his job.
Oh, everyone is signing off in the chat who are the biggest rivals.
So far.
Two Cowboys, 2 Eagles.
Now, who have the Giants and the Eagles have had more classic games, Marco, than the Giants and the Cowboys. The Giants have been beaten more by the Eagles over the last 2 decades than the Cowboys.
Probably, yeah.
But
I'm skewed that way.
I would
it's more fresh in my mind.
I still Witten and Dak and Jerry Jones and the whole thing and the T.O.s and the Romos, even though everyone loves Romo now. As long as Jerry Jones is alive, it'll be the Cowboys for me.
Still the Eagles for me. You can't convince
Jerry Jeudy wouldn't be bad. I love Jerry Jeudy. I'm a Jerry Jeudy
4?
fan. Not at 4. Not a 4.
He's going top 10.
A lot of people have CeeDee Lamb ahead of him now. I still think Judy's is probably the better prospect. As I've said before, anyone who watched the show, if you watch his highlight tape, he does things with the ball in his hand. He makes moves like I've never seen before. I'm not saying the best moves, but I'm saying it's a different style of running. It's almost like Gale Sayers, if you guys ever seen that. It's like it's like an N1 mixtape. He does a hard stop and people go past him. So it's kind of cool to watch. Jeudy, if the Giants want to trade back. Yeah, but Chip, if you take Jeudy first, you're going to neglect the defense and the offensive line. It's tough.
If the Giants trade back, then I think offensive tackles should be considered because now you're putting yourself like mid first. Hopefully they don't trade back too far.
Eric, why not Jeudy at 4, QB in place, running back in place? Couple things. The foundation of any football team is still the offensive and defensive line. The line of scrimmage is still, it's the foundation. And the other stuff is window dressing. The other stuff is real great. It's the flashing lights and all that. You need the quarterback. But it still comes down, no matter what this game has become with all the passing and the penalties, it still comes down to which offensive line, defensive line are moving each other. And so in my opinion, man, nice text back to me, bro. In my opinion, and plus this is the deepest wide receiver draft in history. Like last year was pass rusher, and the Giants did nothing about that.
Supposedly they're saying multiple positions. This is like a very deep class, and it's good that you have multiple picks going on. Like,
well, Eagles, I like that one, but I think you can get this year in the 4th round a second round quality wide receiver. I think you take care of your lines, you pad up on your defense, and then I think next year, if the Giants are like legit on the lines, and next year there's some sick receiver you want to take in the first round as like the icing on the cake,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be easier with that than I would be with taking Jerry Jeudy this year. Eric still wants Jeudy. Yo, you know what I liked about Jeudy, Marco? He played in the bowl game that they played in, and a lot of guys didn't. And he was just like, I love football, and I love my brothers, and I love this team, and why would I not play? And I gained respect for him for that. You know what I'm saying?
That gets respect in my book too.
He ran a 4.45 40, which is like, okay, that's moving, but it's not, I think Beckham ran a 4.43. So, he's got some speed. CeeDee Lamb didn't run that great. CeeDee Lamb ran a 4.5, I think. He's a little more bulked, but let's see what else people are saying here. At this point, the draft is going to be teams sending their picks. Eric Harry Pigeon. Yeah, we talked about that. FaceTime picks. It's going to be like when you do a mock draft.
No, it's going to be like the old picks where they just like you just go to their room, they go to their like war room, and they're like, we pick, and then they're just going to show a highlight reel. That's it.
Yo,
you gotta go
Claypool, Notre Dame. Option in the second round. What do you guys think of him? He blew it away he did himself a lot of favors. He was one of the top 5.
Is he a second rounder?
He could. He displayed size and speed and strength that's rarely seen. He was kind of that guy this year, like you hear about with a DK Metcalf or with a, Megatron kind of guy. Guy here says, I'm all in on Simmons, and he spells Simmons wrong. You're not that all in on him, then, I guess. No.
Slightly.
No. But Simmons is a real good playmaker. I just think he might also be an icing on the cake kind of guy instead of a foundational guy. But Saints make the playoffs without Michael Thomas. No, I hear you, Eric. I hear you. You need playmakers. But I think if you look at those teams you just mentioned, they also had really good lines.
I think he's saying everyone says 4 for Yannick and a 9, and you realize it's never going to happen. It's not fair value. Frank Clark got 2 seconds and a third. That's correct. 2 firsts and a third.
Daniel Jones expectations year 2. I would like him to not stare his receivers down as much. And if he could half the fumbles, honestly, if he could have his exact same year and just cut the fumbles in half, I'd be like, that's a good year too.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Right?
I agree.
Knock off 2 picks, something like that. Sure.
Williams for Yannick? Absolutely.
Oh my God.
For Yannick? Hands down. Straight up?
Giants. Simmons the 4th pick, Austin Jackson. Yeah, Austin Jackson's a tough one. Marco, what do you feel? Guy was arguably going to be a first-round pick at offensive tackle. Then he has one atrocious game against AJ Epinesa, and all of a sudden he's like, everybody's like 3rd round for him. It's like, do you think, the guy was exposed, don't do it? Or do you think, hey, he had a bad game against a great player who had a great game, he could be a steal in the 2nd round?
It's usually, better.
It's tough. Nobody wants to touch Austin Jackson right now because they're like, whoa. He went up against one really good guy and got killed. I'm not sure where that lands. You know who I want in the 2nd round. I want offensive tackle in the 1st round, and my boy Zach Bond. I told you. Did you look at him?
Yes. He looks like a first-round player, though. Stock rising.
But see, he's I got a little top. I got a big board. You talk a little bit. I'm going to get my big board out.
Oh, you're gonna pull his big board out.
Talk about my big board. So, parents, turn your kids away from the TV.
There we go. I hope the league doesn't push back free agency. I think they could do most things remotely. I don't think they have to. I guess a player would want to come see like the facilities and stuff like that. But if it's that close, you're going to sign him. They're going to want to. You could negotiate contracts and all the other stuff remotely. I don't think it's going to push stuff back that much.
Slayton have star potential? Probably not, but you never know. Joe Judge, coach him up. Who looks the part? John May. Who looks the part? He can't play with NFL guys. Who? So my Claypool, my boy Jack says Zach Bond.
No, I think he's talking about your boy
Bond
Jackson.
Who?
I think he's talking about your boy Austin Jackson.
Oh. No, sir. Eric, have you seen Zach Bond play? He's like Chase Young, but just a little bit further back on the line. Look at his stats from his past year. He's a wrecking crew. Austin Jackson. Yeah, I hear you. I haven't seen a lot of film on him.
Okay, I'm going to be controversial. I think the best tackle is in Alabama.
So he's talking about Jedrick Wills, talking about Leatherwood. What's he talking about?
He's being controversial.
What are you saying?
So, oh my God. He's Austin Jackson. So, some nutritional.
Yeah, Eric, honestly, come on, bro. You can't do that, bro.
Greater New York Giant, Plaxico Burress or Hakeem Nicks? Ooh.
So you'd have to say Plaxico. You'd have to.
I would say Plaxico.
But if they both played to the best of their ability for a decade, like Nicks was, Nicks was really good. Nicks and Crew. I've never seen a guy be better and then be out of the league quicker than Nicks. There was a point in my life where I honestly thought Nicks was a top 5 receiver in the NFL, and 2 years later he was out of football. I just don't know what the heck that was about. Becton, I don't know.
OBJ was a better wide receiver in New York as the Giants, hands down.
No, Wirfs. I don't know.
Exploded on the league.
Who?
Odell. He's saying Odell was the best wide receiver the New York's had in a long time.
Yeah, no. I mean, individual.
He exploded.
He's the best ever. Aquara's solid. I don't think Aquara's a game breaker. If they don't get a defensive player in the first round and he's the best available defensive lineman, I just get shy with some of these guys, man. You see these guys like, the non-top tier pass rusher is the number one easiest to prognosticate how they're going to play in the NFL. Everyone tells you that. If they're great, you rarely get a bust as a pass rusher or a guy who comes out of nowhere. Rarely. So Aquara he's pretty good, and I think he'll be pretty good in the pros.
So last week I had Ryan Dunleavy on from the Post.
Yeah.
And
thanks for having me on, by the way.
Yeah, not a problem.
Yeah.
And I asked him what does he think about Joe Judge, and does he think he's has a little bit more say than Pat Shurmur did in personnel? And he thinks he's in agreement that he thinks Judge has a little bit more of a pull and probably might be calling the shots.
Yeah, as opposed to who? Gettleman?
Well, definitely more than Shurmur did, but he has a huge say in what's going on with personnel-wise, which was good to hear because
I think they're loosening the reins a little bit because they realize they got to let the coach do what the coach has to do, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I saw a bunch of people pick up on that, and they seem to really go for that. Victor Cruz, the Salsa King.
Thank you.
Top free agent targets for the Giants.
Chip's been asking us. Depends who gets franchised. It's kind of the same old guys, right? I mean, I'd love Yannick. I'd love Barrett. Probably not going to be available.
Both are probably getting.
I would take Conklin. I would take Conklin. I think Byron Jones would be a great addition for 2 years.
See, that's who I think is going to actually wind up as a Giant. I don't think they're going to trade for Yannick. Barrett's going to probably get tagged too. Conklin is a right tackle. We really need a left tackle. I think it's going to wind up being their big get is going to be Leonard Williams and probably Jones.
Say it again.
I think their big get is going to be Byron Jones.
Oh, you said Jones. I think I meant Daniel Jones. I was lost.
No.
Hard for Gettleman to bleep up the draft now with a quarterback in place. John, don't underestimate Dave Gettleman.
You looked him straight in the eyes and went, John, it can happen. Clowney. I think for the past 2 months I've been saying no. I watched some highlight videos of Clowney. Oh my God, he's good though.
Yeah, he's coming off of a sports hernia, man.
Yeah,
You have no idea what's going to happen there.
I'm not worried about the talent. I'm worried more about the motivation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. Yo, you want to hear my top 10 here?
Give me the big board.
Should I go from 10 to 1 or 1 to 10?
10 to 1.
10 to 1. Number 10, your buddy, Isaiah Simmons.
A 10, okay.
A 10. Number 9, CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb, 9.
Number 8, Jedrick Wills, offensive tackle, Alabama. Number 7, Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver, Alabama. Number 6, Derek Brown, IDL, Auburn. Here we go with the top 5. Number 5, Andrew Thomas, offensive tackle, Georgia. Number 4, Tua Tagovailoa. 4. Number 3, Jeff Okudah. Number 2, Joe Burrow. Number 1,
Chase Young.
Marco.
Thank you. Finally.
Chase Young.
Finally.
I got Wirfs at 11. I got Bond at 17. Becton at 22. Yeah. So.
That sounds like a solid top 10.
Yeah. Feel pretty good about it. 10 to 1. My boy. My fellow William out there. He likes it. Hypocritical when they like Clowney but not Leonard. No, two different things you're looking at there. Clowney's the better football player. Who's smoking? No Tua. I'm assuming his health. Okay. Had he been healthy, he'd be the number 1 guy.
2 years ago, people were already talking about their tanking for Tua. And now he's here and you have him ranked 4.
Simmons is not better than Young. Simmons is not better than Young. If the Giants take Andrew Thomas, would I be happy? Yes. Simmons better than Young is just not true. Will, who would I take it for? I would be okay because they have so many needs. They have like last year at 6, I was like, if Josh Allen drops to the Giants, that would be a gift. That it happened. They didn't take him. I was very, very mad. Who would I take at 4? I would take whatever offensive tackle they think is the best out of those 4 guys. I like Andrew Thomas, but I would take the other guys too. Wirfs and Wills, maybe ahead of Becton. I'd be okay with Simmons. I'd be okay with Okudah. That's it.
I would be happy with Okudah or Simmons at 4. I think they should go Okudah over Simmons, but I would be happy with both of them.
Top 10 for everyone, just the Giants. No, that's the top 10. My top 10. I think that the top 10 best players coming out of the draft.
That's the Will Big Board.
The Will Big Board.
Supposed to go up 20% over the next couple of years after the new CBA. If that's true, then paying Clowney 21 or 22 million won't seem so bad in a couple of years. The cap is going up for everyone, not just the Giants, so it's relatively doesn't mean anything.
See, this is look at the bottom comment, Marco. I'm gonna lose my shit here. Young can play only one position. With Simmons, he can play different positions. Dude,
yeah, I heard.
I don't care.
Cannot play quarterback.
How many positions could Lawrence Taylor play? How many positions could Dick Butkus play? How many positions could Tom Brady play? Do we care? How many positions could Cordell Stewart play? If you're old enough to remember Cordell Stewart, his nickname was Slash. He played quarterback / running back / wide receiver. You never heard of him, probably. Why?
I put up 3. He played 3 positions.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying my man Will here. It doesn't matter how many positions you play. It matters what your impact's going to be on the game. Chase Young coming off the edge every single play, putting pressure on the quarterback, a sack here, 3-sack game there, this and that. It's more valuable than a guy who he can do 17 different. Oh, you should see him plays with the band. He does the cheerleaders. He does the halftime show. I don't care.
What do you think about the people rating him number 2 best player in the draft?
Who?
And Brown as their best, not only defensive player in the draft, best overall player in the draft.
Derek Brown?
Yeah, have you seen that?
I do not know Derek Brown well enough to speak intelligently about that. I got to be honest with you. I've seen a little bit of Derek Brown. I don't speak on things I don't really know that much about.
Would it upset you if I told you that the Giants sent
Yes. Just don't finish the sentence. Stop. I don't want that. If the Giants draft an interior defensive lineman, you guys are going to see this camera. You're going to just see it fly away from my face really quick because it's just going to go out the window. You're going to be looking into the streets of New York on 44th Street, probably being urinated on by a homeless guy who's out there right now. That's what you're going to see if the Giants take an interior defensive lineman.
So I won't say that they sent the defensive coordinator, multiple defensive individual coaches out there. I won't say that.
Oh my God, dude. I can't. He's like, Gettleman's like the person who dates the same person all the time and they keep getting disappointed, but they keep trying to date that same person. I just don't. Let's see. No more DT. Thank you. Fan of Fletcher Cox. You should like Derek Brown. I'll take your word for it. We have millions of D tackles. Absolutely. Pressure the middle better than pressure at the edge. I don't know the stats on that one. I still like a nice edge pressure. Forced it into the middle. Nowadays, its quarterbacks can scramble so much. It's one thing, Marco, when you watch, like, it just kills me when people try to beat Patrick Mahomes and they rush and he just constantly runs to his right. He constantly runs to his right, hardly ever runs. So I know he can run to his left, but some of these quarterbacks, I'm like, just bring someone off the edge of the way they always run, instead of just chasing them up the middle and having them go around the edges.
He's so good, though.
He is.
I'm sure he could go left. That was my big joke about DK Metcalf. He couldn't turn left like
Zoolander. Giants hosting the Browns. Do the Giants play the Browns this year? OBJ comes back?
I don't know what he's talking about. What's going on with that?
They say the Browns playing at the Giants this year, and Beckham will be here. If that's the case, I don't know. It'll be a lot of news, and who the hell knows? He'll score a touchdown, he'll drop a pass. Like I don't know. I don't want to say it's a non-factor, but I don't know. But there's never been a team that I've gone from not caring about to hating more than the Browns. It's crazy.
Yes, the Browns play the Giants. Okay, thank you for the correction.
What a correction.
See, what else did I want to bring up?
Julian Love. Not Julian Love.
I have a whole list here. We mentioned that. We mentioned Jonathan Peters.
10-6. I don't think that's happening. Could be wrong.
Do you know the player that I mentioned last week that I said was going to come on the podcast? He pulled a move on me.
Nah, what's that?
He's like, oh, there's been a change of things, and now I've gotten really busy, so I'm now going to be like charging for interviews.
Who is it again? You can't say.
I won't say. I'll tell you.
Can you text me? We're being real idiots here. Jones first time Pro Bowl. Probably not. We'll see. Chances Young falls to 4, slim to none. That's correct. I would put it at 5%. Marco has it at 10% because I just don't think, even if people go in and trade up and you take Burrow and 2, there's still one spot where someone's going to have to pass on Chase Young. And even though the Redskins need offensive line, even though Detroit needs D-back, even though people need to trade up for quarterbacks, I don't see 3 teams passing on Chase Young. Thomas, Hernandez, Baez, Zietler, Conklin. Yeah, that would be a nice offensive line. 10-6 have faith. I got faith. I also have a brain. I mean, I just don't think. Not that you don't have a brain. I just. What's your honest, like? What do you think the Giants do this year? Maybe optimistically, like everything goes well. 7, 8 wins.
8 and 8.
That'd be like a solid 8 and 8. I don't know enough about Van Noy, man.
Everything goes well?
Yeah. Don't say 9 and 7.
You're saying everything goes well.
Well, if everything goes well, they're gonna go 16 and 0. If they get that's right. Or 17 and 0, depending on what happens.
Have you guys
Barrett is not tagged
Miami
yet.
playbook in Miami? It's really solid. I haven't.
That's
a good idea, though.
Yo, talk to me, Marco, about Van Noy. I don't know enough about him. What do you got on him? Anything?
Well, apparently he's giving out interviews and he's saying "Go Giants" at the end of the interviews.
What are you talking about?
That's what he did. He had an interview and they were talking about his free agency and stuff like that. And at the end of it, he's like, "Go Giants!" So,
how old is he?
He is 29, I think.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about? Are we going to have an NFL season?
Questionable. I think so.
Corona?
He's 28.
Coronavirus? Yeah. Free agency starts up what? The 16th, 17th?
Yeah, we're in a crazy period right now. When's the legal tampering start? I think that starts at the 16th, right?
All right, we're going to answer one more question each. Somebody direct a question to Marco or myself. We're going to hit that up. We're going to answer it. Then we're going to get going.
Yep. Let's see what we got.
First come, first serve. I think we kind of knocked a lot of them out.
Should we still? So we could wait. What's going on here?
Here we go. Why are people ignoring Lorenzo Carter? Takes time to develop in the NFL. It's a valid point.
But my follow-up question to that is, do you think Lorenzo Carter is going to be a top-tier NFL linebacker?
10-6, the NFC is not that good. It's true. Dallas is trash. But all these teams you're saying are trash, right? Other than the Redskins had a better record than the Giants are bad. Like, you don't realize how bad the Giants are at every facet. The Giants have one running back, maybe one receiver in like Shepard, and maybe two, Dexter Lawrence, and Giants have like 3 or 4 guys that are like legitimate starters. Like, everyone else has to prove it. Like, they're very lacking. They're really a rough team, man.
Who is your NBA MVP? Season ended. Who's your?
I think the guy who got everybody sick. I'll say Greek Freak just because I'm partially Greek.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
And you know what we're going to do? We're going to finish up here, Marco. I'm going to let you answer the question on my behalf. The second to bottom question. Mega Giants 89 wants to know, what are your overall thoughts on Dave Gettleman? I'm going to let Marco tell you my overall thoughts on Dave Gettleman. Hit me with it, Marco. What's the line?
Dave Gettleman selects good players, just not the right players.
I've trained you well, Marco.
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, man. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Once again, thanks for tuning in. Will, thanks for jumping on.
Of course, Marco, you continue to be the man. You guys make sure you follow Marco on Twitter. This guy is committed. He has me on. I love to contribute and everything, but this guy, he truly does bleed blue.
Thank you. This is true.
Yeah, no.
This is true.
You do a good job, and I'm happy to co-host with you. We got some good fans, so I appreciate it.
Will, what's going on? What do you got? You got anything coming up?
No, man. I'm living here in Midtown Manhattan, waiting to see what the hell's going to go on with everything happening here, man. It's weird. I went shopping today, spent a whole lot, but I want to do something with the draft. I want to, I'm still working with CX for Collectible Exchange. Check us out. We're doing a sale starting tomorrow, probably. Inside information. You go to cxstuff.com. We got we're going to do a March Sadness sale, a hockey This Pucks sale, and an NBA basketball, like as in balling, because we're sad about all these sports. Every sport that's been canceled, we have a little sale going.
You got a little pun going on
tomorrow. We gotta forget the bad pun. We got a little sale going on for everybody tomorrow. So, but other than that, no, I want to do something with the draft, man. We got to get together and like live. Watch the draft live and then just see the reactions, because last year it just wasn't good, man. What do you got going on, Marco? Anything?
No, nothing much. I got this going on. Let's see what happened.
You got any big timers? You got any big time people that I'm gonna find out you interviewed the day after? You got Saquon coming on, man?
No. Oh, I knocked my headset off. Hold on.
Yeah. He can't hear us. Let's talk shit. Oh, hey, what's up, man?
What happened to Captain Negative? I talk to him every day. He's having computer issues at the moment.
Yo, shout out to Nick. Right?
Yeah, Nick was on for a minute.
Nick, I have to give him credit. We were having some technical issues, and he sacrificed himself for the sake of the show. And I'm forever grateful for that.
I don't know why that's not working when you add a third person on. It's going to drive me crazy.
You don't have the Minaj setting on, I think, is what it is.
Yeah. Where's that setting?
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. We're getting some good love here. So, Marco, anything cool coming up?
No. Well, I got some sad news. I was turned down for a sponsorship for the podcast.
Oh.
Which was awkward because they initially reached out to me. I'm like, oh, I think this would work really well, and then
Hooters wouldn't do it.
They pulled the plug. I was like, ah.
Hooters wouldn't do it, huh?
It wasn't Hooters. But maybe I should reach out to them.
Hooters might be inappropriate. They're closing a lot of stores. And they say, this is true, that the reason is because studies show that men are no longer as attracted to a woman's upstairs as they are to a woman's downstairs.
Where do you fall on that spectrum? Are you
I appreciate every inch of a woman.
The whole stairway.
Upstairs, downstairs, the whole house, you know? So, backyard, everything. Doesn't matter. I'm going to leave it there. There's a lot of bad puns. My parents might be watching this. So, but anyway.
All right, everyone.
Saquon, the greatest running back in the NFL currently. Potentially. We don't know what it would have been this year. We got to see what his injury. But he's one of the top 3. We'll see what happens.
All right, everyone. Signing off.
Thanks so much, guys. See you probably next week.
See you then.